batteries fully charged. Launch ready for WWE Aftershock in 3, 2, 1. World Wrestling Entertainment Discussion is live. Cue host Owen Finch.
Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to WWE Aftershock. I know you're probably thinking, like, what the hell happened? You just did this whole video and everything like that, like saying that things on the channel were going to change. You weren't going to be doing Aftershocks the way you used to be doing them anymore. Well, things changed in Chris's schedule where he was available this week, so I figured why not just go back to the old ways early type of thing. Just be like, fuck it, we'll just do it early. But I'm on the Birdman Finch, and I'm here with... Say your name again. They didn't hear you.
Chris. That's my name.
I mean, you've only been on the channel for what, like over 10 years. They should know your name by now, but you never know. You know, there could be somebody else with that Seth Rollins little icon they got going on right there. So, but yeah. So, but yeah, you know, where what?
He laughed so hard when I saw the first time I ever saw, like, when he made that face. I literally died laughing the first time I ever saw it.
I forget, when does he make that face too? I know it's doing his J&J security days, but I forget when does he make that face?
I forget. Was he facing Brock at the time?
Maybe, yeah. Was that when he got DQ'd, and then like was that the night after WrestleMania 31? Probably.
Ben, I forget when it was, but yeah, that face, like, the first time I saw it, I literally like died laughing.
Yeah. But yeah, let's get into some WWE talk. We're gonna review Saturday night's main event, Raw, NXT, and do some Clash and Paris predictions for this week. So let's get it over with. We're gonna start with Saturday night's main event from 2026 this year. This is the second edition that happened in 2026, which is pretty crazy to think about. That, you know, it's been so long since we've had one. I always thought we had one in the middle somewhere, but no. The commentary team was Wade Barrett and Michael Cole. And this was the first event on Peacock in a while. You know, all the Saturday night's main event are going to be on Peacock. So that was pretty cool. It's the first time, Chris, I've actually been on Peacock. I think since, I was going to say Stand and Deliver, but I'm going to say, I think it was the last Saturday night's main event. Well, no, I think it was Vengeance Day, maybe? Because I think that's the last event NXT did, last PLE NXT did on Peacock, so, kind of, it's, oh no, I forgot, I watched the Shawn Michaels documentary. That was on Peacock, so, it's a lie. So, look at me, Chris, I'm lying to the fans, I'm just lying, I'm a huge liar, so, but yeah, let's get into it. The event started off with the 6-woman tag. They also had Lillian Garcia as the ring announcer for Saturday night's main event, as what happens every time. But yeah, it was a 6-woman tag. It was Rhea Ripley and We're Not Friends versus Jade Cargill and Beechin. Jade Cargill and Beechin paid tribute to Michael Jackson and did like an entrance for him, which was pretty cool. Well, like entrance. Paying tribute to him, which was pretty cool. I'm pretty sure that it just happened recently in NXT, though. So, well, did that? I think maybe not NXT, but I know it just happened somewhere in wrestling. And yeah, this was a really good match. You know, the faces start off, they dominate in the beginning, and then eventually they get the heat on Alexa Bliss. They dominate Alexa Bliss for a long time, and then eventually Charlotte Flair makes the hot tag. They did a couple moments in this match where Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley really couldn't get along. Like, you know, Rhea Ripley tagged Alexa in the match at one point. You know, like Charlotte wouldn't tag out at one point. Eventually Rhea Ripley got the hot tag. She ended up hitting the Riptide on Jade Cargill, but the pinfall got broken up before it could get counted. And then they did a fun moment where Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair finally embraced, and Alexa Bliss got in the middle of it. And then eventually Jade Cargill used that opportunity to take advantage and hit Rhea Ripley with Jaded and got the pinfall. Jade Cargill pinned Rhea Ripley. She's totally not going to win the title at Clash at Paris. I think she stood tall on SmackDown and stood tall a couple weeks ago, and now she just pinned Rhea Ripley here. There's no way she wins the belt unless Rhea Ripley does something to stand tall on SmackDown this week, but there's no way she wins the belt. I thought this match was really good. I give it 3.5 stars. I really hope this is the end of that storyline where Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair can't get along, because we already did that fucking story. There was no reason to do it again. But yeah, overall, how did you feel about this match? I thought it was really good. I give it 3.5 stars.
I give it 3.5 stars too. I thought this match was really good. I was really surprised that Rhea took the pinfall. Didn't really expect that to happen. I thought it would have been like Alexa or Charlotte, or if the heels lost, it obviously would have been like Michin or B-Fab. Like one of them would have eaten the pin.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was really surprising to see like Rhea, get pinned and Jade going over there. But afterwards too, like Jade kind of gave her a little sign of respect, like, "Hey, thanks for putting me over." She kind of gave her a little squeeze on the thigh, which is usually a thank you. So it seems like their differences are kind of no longer a thing anymore.
That's good.
They had their little, earlier this year, like around WrestleMania time. So it seems like it's all water under the bridge now.
Yep. Then Ethan Page got interviewed, and he talked about how this is going to be Kathy Kelly's like biggest interview to date, because she's about to interview him, but right before he wins the Intercontinental Championship. And he says that he's going to take that title and make it the most prestigious title of all time, and he's going to show respect by calling it the Ethan Page Championship. So that was pretty exciting. I thought Ethan Page got a good promo there. What'd you think of that?
I was ready to call it the Ethan Page Championship.
Yeah. And then unfortunately, we got the women's version of the IC title showcase on the show, and yeah, I guess the less said about this, the better. But Luka faced Becky Lynch in a match where WWE couldn't fucking decide if it was for the belt or not, because I think they kept false advertising one or the other, and I guess it wasn't for the title this time around. This match absolutely sucked, and it was on a lot of people's fault. Luka, because she botched every move she did. WWE, because the match was so short, and then obviously the finish that they came up with. Luka messed up the springboard clothesline. I'm pretty sure drop kick. You named it. She messed it up. And then the finish came. Luka went for the Soul Snatcher, but then Becky Lynch pulled Jessica Carr in front of her, and Luka messed that up too, where she didn't even hit the Soul Snatcher. And you knew that was also a mess up because, one, if you looked at it, and then when they showed the replay, they showed it at a different camera angle every time. We've seen it since. And this caused Becky Lynch to get disqualified since she put the official in front of in the way. So Becky Lynch got disqualified, and then afterwards Becky Lynch beat up Luka, hit her with a ton of manhandle slams. This came off really shitty. Everybody looked bad here. And there was just no reason to do this. This match didn't even need to happen on the show. If you were just going to do a match like this with a shitty finish like this, don't even have the match. Luka's main roster run so far has been absolutely terrible. She has botched every move since she's been there. She messed up the Soul Snatcher, like, reversal against, Sky. She messed up a lot in the Liv match. Her promos haven't been very good. So far, an absolute failure of Luka being on the main roster. And I guess I'll just say this now, since it's a fact. When Becky Lynch went backstage, Nick Aldis told her that she has to defend the title now against Luka at Clash in Paris. Hopefully Sol doesn't win the belt because she hasn't deserved it yet. with the performances she's been putting out. This doesn't even make sense that Soul's even fucking involved in this because Io Sky beat her like a week or so ago, and she's fucking vanished off television. So this doesn't even make any sense. This is absolutely terrible. This match is like -1 star. It's absolutely awful.
Let's see. I give it 0 because I'll be generous. I'll give it 0. I don't know what to think of Sol Ruka because they keep hyping her up right now. Like watching in NXT and watching on the main roster feels like two different wrestlers.
Yeah.
Doesn't even feel like the same person. And she, first of all, she hit the Soul Snatcher with ease in NXT. On the main roster, she's not been able to hit it cleanly at all.
No, not at all.
It has been really bad. And Saturday Night's main event it looked. She tried to let the springboard 450 clothesline, and she botched the fuck out of that too. And I was like, and then the ending really was just horrible. Like that's what you come up with. She wins by disqualification. Her first win on the main roster is a fucking cheap victory for someone who you're hailing as going to be one of your biggest stars for the next 10 to 15 years. Like, I just, to me, on the main roster, she's 0-3. She didn't win. She has not won a match yet. Even though she technically did win. She's looked, first of all, the match against Liv Morgan, she should have won. She didn't win. Stupid decision. And then she loses to Io Sky, and then she basically loses to Becky Lynch, too, also, even though she technically won by DQ. To me, it's like, I can't, it's another one of these things where it's like, either someone comes up from NXT and they're pushed like a fucking monster right out of the gate, or they come up from NXT and they're fucking dead on arrival. I feel like Sol Ruka is getting close to being dead on arrival.
Yeah, 100%.
She also needs to add another move.
Yeah,
that isn't like save the Soul Snatcher for PLEs, for big matches, but like add a regular move. Like I know, as much as I hate him, Ricochet did the 630 during special events in WWE, and then had the recoil or the code breaker as his regular finisher that he used every week.
Yeah. And, Javon Evans, I know we talk about him. Like, I know he does the OG cutter, and I know he does that a lot, but he could also fucking hit the move right and everything like that. So that's, like, fine. That's what, because he can hit the move right, we look forward to seeing it all the time and everything like that type of thing. So, but whatever. This match was awful. Then Penta did a promo talking about how much he cares about the Intercontinental Championship, and he's going to defend this title with all his heart and soul. And that he's going to make sure that, Ethan Page doesn't bring disgrace to that Intercontinental Championship. The Irresistible Forces did an interview that was bad, but I don't really remember it. But I remember it being bad, so there's that. What do you think of these two little segments backstage?
We're fine.
And then we had Penta defending the Men's Intercontinental Championship against Ethan Page. This was a great match. Absolutely ruled. Penta started off the match really aggressive early. He really went after Ethan Page, had a lot of high-flying moves, had a really good flip dive onto him. Then eventually Ethan Page backdropped him on the announce table, threw him into the steps, and he absolutely took it to Penta. Eventually Penta mounted a comeback, and Ethan Page eventually, after he had enough of Penta kicking out and everything like that, brought a chair into the ring, but he used this as a distraction so that way he could undo the turnbuckle, which Penta went into the first time, and Ethan Page tried to win with the Eat Defeat, but Penta kicked out of it, and then Ethan Page himself went into the exposed turnbuckle, and then Penta hit him with the Destroyer, and Penta got the win. He retained the Intercontinental Championship. I thought, though, this made Ethan Page look good, even though he lost. The only reason he lost was because of the exposed turnbuckle, And I feel like you could still do a rematch with Ethan Page, get him back into the mix. I don't think this hurt Ethan Page at all. Both competitors looked very good in this match. This match was great, probably match of the night. I give it 4 stars. It was great stuff.
I give this match 4 stars. It was excellent. Just an excellent match. Just amazing. I loved it.
Unfortunately, they changed Ethan Page's theme song now, which sucks. They just basically took out the lyrics and everything like that, which, isn't great. And then Paige and Brie Bella cut an interview talking about how they're going to keep the Women's Tag Team Championships. That interview was pretty solid. They need to start doing something with Paige because he's on the verge of just being one of the women on the roster. So hopefully they can find something more exciting to do with Paige, but we'll see. What do you think of this?
Don't really care.
Then we had the women's tag title match. It was Paige and Brie Bella defending against the Irresistible Forces. Good match. Definitely better than the match they had on SmackDown a few weeks ago. That was absolute garbage. It ended really randomly. I think Paige did a roll up on Nia, and the match just ended. I think you and I were texting back and forth, and literally I looked down at my phone for 1 second, and the match was over. I'm like, oh wow, that was quick, but whatever. I give it like 3 stars. The women's tag division really isn't too excited right now. Paige and Bria, I think, are a good team. It's just that they don't really have a lot of good teams to wrestle, or teams in general to wrestle. And I think they basically faced everyone that they could face, like for the tag belts for the most part. So, but yeah, I give it 3 stars. It was fine.
Yeah, I'll give it 3 stars. It was fine. Like Paige and Brie obviously have chemistry. They longtime friends, like legitimately, like for over 10 years. Like there's chemistry there between them. But yeah, I can't wait for the inevitable Nikki Bella return in a month plus. And then they turn on her, so it's going to happen. Just book that.
Unfortunately,
100%. Yeah. I hope this is also, to the end of the Irresistible Forces in the tag team title division.
Yeah, we don't need that anymore. And then the Vision defending the World Tag Team titles against the Street Profits. Very good match here. The Vision dominated Angelo Dawkins throughout much of it, and then eventually Montez Ford got the hot tag. And then at one point he hit a flip dive onto Logan Paul, and obviously this is very significant because Logan Paul ended up tearing his pectoral muscle because of that. So obviously he's going to be out due to injury for a while. And Braun Breaker tried to interfere, but then eventually the interference was thwarted. And then Dawkins tried to go up off the steps, but then he got hit with the brass knucks. No, actually it wasn't it was Tez, and then Dawkins did the suicide dive. And then Austin Theory pinned Montez Ford. The Vision retained the World Tag Team Championships, and then afterwards Braun Breaker goes in there and spears both of them. Very good match. I'll give it 3 3/4 stars. They definitely made the Street Profits look good. There was a moment where they could have won the match with the frog splash, but then Heyman put Theory's foot on the ropes. I think they should have gone with the Street Profits. They had an easy way to get the belts on them where Seth could have interfered and counteracted the Braun Breaker interference, but it just didn't happen that way. It didn't really make sense for it to not happen that way. But whatever. The Vision retained. Yeah, I'll give it 3 3/4 stars. Not the most exciting way to end Saturday Night's main event with just the Vision retaining. They should have had Seth come out and cost the Vision the match, and help the Street Profits win. That would have sent the crowd home. I think much happier and just would have made this show feel more important. But whatever. What'd you think of this?
I thought this match was 3 stars. Good match. Losing Logan to a torn tricep really fucking sucks. It's gonna hurt this division for a little bit because now it kind of forces, even though now Braun Breaker to be in a tag team for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
But also gives Braun Breaker something to do because I feel like he's kind of lost a lot of steam in the last little while. He's gotten incredibly more bland, um, like a one-trick pony, like just fear. Like that's the only thing he's done. So maybe this kind of fleshes his character out a little bit. I hope. Um, but like no interference from Seth, which I thought was really weird, but they explained it on Raw, which I'll get to. And yeah, I thought the match itself was fine. I thought it was a really good match, but like losing Logan in the process really sucked.
And that Saturday night's main event, I'm gonna give it like a B minus. It was good stuff. Pretty skippable. Like, nothing really significant really happens on it, but just a good wrestling show all around. I would have done a title change on there somewhere, maybe the IC title, maybe the tag titles. Because this show is pretty skippable. But what'd you think of it?
I give it a B minus. It probably would have been a B plus had the Saruka and Becky match not been so trash. But it got to a point where I was far more interested in what was happening in Mexico than I was on Saturday night's main event.
That's right, yeah, because that ran over. So, but let's get to Raw from this week. You have to get those notes up. I hope you have them ready.
So Raw opened this week in Columbus, Ohio. It was on the campus of Ohio State University. And Corey Graves and Michael Cole were the commentary team. And it opens with Paul Heyman in the ring. He gets really upset with all the Oba chants. And, you know, that eventually leads to Oba Femi coming out. And he gets into he gets him into the corner, and Paul Heyman looks like he's about to shit himself. He doesn't attack him, which I'm not surprised. I'm surprised he didn't, or at least try to scare him a little bit more. But he looked like he was going to shit himself either way. And Oba Femi signs the contract, makes it official that at Clash in Italy, it is the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi. I thought this opening segment was pretty good. I was kind of surprised that there was no Brock.
There was Brock. He did a video promo, remember?
Yes, but like in person.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't have him there in person. For the show, at least to do a stare down or something like that. Or like as Paul Heyman was in the corner, have like Brock come out and like do a stare down. Something. But yeah, I thought this opening segment was very good.
Yeah, I thought this was excellent. You know, Paul Heyman's promo was really good. I love Brock's promo where he talked about, you know, he gave Oba props for, like, you know, beat him at WrestleMania. And I love that his retirement, at least in kayfabe-wise, like, was legit. They didn't come out and say, like, that this was all a trap or anything like that. Like, he actually thought about retiring, but then he said that his career can't end that way. And he said that he's going to destroy Oba, like he woke something up inside him. Oba was awesome in this segment. He came off very good, where he said that he's actually going to retire Brock Lesnar. I thought this segment really hit a home run. It was excellent. It's just so crazy to think that Brock and Oba really doesn't have like a long-term, you know, week-by-week build-up or anything like that. And maybe other than the main event, but I would even say like Oba and Brock's probably been the best feud this year for WWE, I think. This has been excellent. I think this is great stuff, you know. And, you know, the intrigue of this match, I think, is still very much there, even though Oba's already beaten Brock. So I think this is excellent.
Yeah, I agree also, too.
I am wondering what they're going to do. We'll get to it in our predictions, but I am wondering what they're going to do Saturday because they'll kind of book themselves, I guess, a little bit into a corner here. I'm also worried, hopefully, because I still, even though Brock's still retiring this year, I hope he can get like a better retirement than like he would have had at Mania. Like I hope they don't regret putting him back because the retirement at Mania was perfect. So hopefully they have something better lined up for him.
I think they will because I think it's gonna be SummerSlam because it's gonna be in Minnesota. So I do think that's where he'll get his big send off. I mean, like how many more fucking almost pushing 50 at this point. So it's got to be like at SummerSlam. Like he's still obviously in like peak physical condition and whatnot,
Yeah,
but he can't go as long as he used to. So
yeah.
and I thought the match at WrestleMania could have been a little bit longer, but I thought it was like the perfect length.
So we'll see what happens at Clash.
So we will. Um.
Hello.
Yeah, some fucking ad just popped up and wouldn't let me fucking close it out.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought we lost you there for a second.
like a cat pet food ad popped up. I clicked on this fucking website and it's like has like ads that I'm trying to close out as I'm going down, and it fucking redirected me to a fucking cat pet food site that wouldn't let me close it up for a second.
Damn.
But I'm back. So Roman Reigns is shown arriving into the arena. It was his 41st birthday on Monday, legitimately. And I kind of it's kind of funny now, like when he comes into the arena, they show him arriving and that they give him the championship. It's something they've never done before until like recently.
Yeah, I love that.
Because they always show that on camera, them walking in with a belt, or they never show like a stagehand or whatever coming up and giving you a championship or anything like that.
Yeah. That's it. Those are perks you have when you're the tribal chief. So
They also showed Jacob Fatu, also too, and the new AAA general manager Rey Mysterio was in the house, which is fucking awesome, and I'll get to that later on. And we cut right to the opening match, which was Javon Evans and against Penta, and it was for the Intercontinental Championship. All I'm gonna say is, if you fucking like high flying and moves that end matches, then watch this match over and over again because it is an absolutely excellent match. Penta, there were times in this match where I thought Penta was done for, especially in the last sequence of the match where Javon Evans went for 2 OG cutters and got crushed each time.
yeah.
The super kick coming from the first OG cutter was nuts. Fucking almost took his head clean off. That was the code breaker was first, and not the code breaker, the backstabber, and then the super kick was nuts. I thought that was just incredible. And then Penta won with the Mexican Destroyer. This match was just excellent. And afterwards, Penta was showing his respect, raised his arm, and then Javon Evans yanked his arm down. Very much upset, and walked to the back. I thought that was very interesting because maybe showing signs of turning heel, maybe, or it's just he was just frustrated in that moment. But we'll see. But I think it could be pointing more towards the heel direction.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I kind of hope it's just him being frustrated in that moment, but we'll see what happens. This match was fantastic, though. A great Intercontinental Championship match. And, this was like a good half hour into the show. It was probably the best half hour we've gotten on Raw in a while. So this was absolutely excellent. I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, I was very impressed. Like, these two have excellent chemistry.
Yeah.
I've seen Javon Evans be a heel in DPW when he was Jay Malachi. He could be an excellent heel. And he kind of was showing signs of being very heelish in that match, too, also.
Yeah. I just don't know. He would have to change his in-ring style, I guess, though, because, like, you can't really do the flippy stuff as a heel type of thing. So, we'll see what happens.
Changing it up a little bit, but who knows?
Yeah.
It will be interesting, though. It's definitely some intrigue on his character development.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
And then we got a rundown of Clash in Italy, and then Michael Cole broke the unfortunate news that Logan Paul is going to be out for quite a long time, quite a few months with a torn tricep, and then they showed the flip dive that Dawkins did over the top rope, and right away I knew something was up with Logan because when he did the flip dive, Logan kind of landed funny.
Yeah.
I was like, he either hit himself with the brass knuckles that were in his hand, or he did something to his arm because he felt kind of funny. He fell almost like the fetal position almost.
Yeah, it was nuts.
It was really weird, and it turns out his fucking tricep tore. So, I hope he's. This is like he's probably going to be out for the summer, I would assume.
Yeah.
I would assume he'll for, as they call it, the season premiere or whatever, in the fall.
Yeah, that sucks that he's going to be gone. The Vision just continues to be coast. Every single one of them except Theory now has gotten hurt. So, that really sucks. And I think Logan Paul is a big loss to them because I know Braun Breaker was like the one, like the driving force behind it, but Logan Paul also was like a driving force behind it. Like he was brought into the Vision to really save it when Seth got hurt. So now it kind of sucks that like he's gone now, type of thing. Like I said, it kind of kills the tag division. WWE almost should just end the Vision pretty soon because it seems like anytime they try to get any momentum going with it, someone gets hurt. So maybe it's time to just admit the Vision failed and end it. So, and maybe just keep the Paul Heyman Braun Breaker like partnership type of thing.
It's really, the Vision is kind of cursed because everything was great and everything was fine, and then Seth gets hurt. Seth hurts his shoulder doing a coast to coast. He's out for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
They turned on him. Seth comes back from injury, from his shoulder surgery. And by the time that he comes back, Braun Breaker now leaves with the
hernia.
The hernia surgery because I think he did have a hernia before that. So, but then goes on a rage and flips the fucking announce table. That exasperates it. Now he needs surgery, and now he's out he was out for forever. Just when the Vision starts to get going with Logan, Theory, and Bronson gets fucking hurt. He's out until probably the fall now also, too.
Yeah.
Late summer, probably around SummerSlam, I think, I forget how long. Was his a bicep injury?
Yeah, because it was when he broke up that pinfall with Jey Uso in the original El Grande Americano. That fucked up everything, too, because I'm pretty sure he was supposed to win that match, but then he got hurt, so he couldn't even win.
Bicep tear in February.
Yeah.
So 4 to 6 month window. So he could be coming back within the next month or two. So his return might be a little bit more imminent, but then just when Theory and Logan get going, they're really starting to gel as a tag team. Boom. Injury. Torn tricep. Out for, I would assume, 4+ months.
Yeah.
How long these injuries are. They keep saying several months, but I have to look up how long they take.
Yeah, this really sucks too because obviously they got him full time and everything like that too, and that's a big star you don't have full time right now either. So that
3 to
sucks.
12 months.
Yeah.
So anywhere in that time period. 6 months for most function, up to a year for full pre-injury strength. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's gonna be gone a while.
He's gonna be gone for quite a long time. So and then, that happens, and now Braun's now in the tag team. So it's like the whole Vision thing got fucked up almost instantly.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this, never should have been a thing in the first place. I get like the whole like Seth was frustrated, Punk was back thing, but like turning Seth heel was probably one of the most inexplicable things that WWE's done in the last bunch of years. He was massively over as a babyface. What do you think they were going to fucking boo him? Like, did they honestly think that Seth Rollins was going to get any heel heat whatsoever? Once or twice, maybe?
Yeah. They never changed a song either, which didn't help either. So,
he never changed his gimmick.
Yeah.
No. So it's like, it never made any sense. Like, I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, that was one of the most inexplicable things they could have done, was turn him heel. Because at this point, at this stage in his career, he should never be a heel.
Yeah, for sure.
Never be a heel ever again. I don't care how many times he says that he wants to be a heel. I do not fucking care. He should never be a heel ever again, because he just cannot be one.
No, he can't.
And now it's like, how many? It's a year and maybe 2 months into the Vision, and like every single one of the original members is either out of the group or hurt.
Yeah, definitely. So.
So backstage, Paul Heyman's in the locker room. And Austin Theory walks in, and he's like really dejected because Logan's out and he's gonna be out for a long time. And he tried to hand in the championship and be like, how am I gonna be a tag team champion if I don't have a tag team partner? And then Paul goes, Braun Breaker is gonna be your tag team partner.
Yeah, Freewood rule.
And this part like really kind of made me laugh. Because they really went with us throughout the night. They were like, we're gonna. Theory was like, I'm gonna try to hurt everyone that wanted to try to hurt Logan Paul.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, what? What the who? No one's goal was to murder Logan Paul.
No, it wasn't. He just got hurt doing a flip tie. Like,
the whole premise of the night was Austin Theory trying to injure people because Logan got hurt and people tried to hurt him. I'm like, that never happened. People weren't trying to hurt. I was like, that never once happened.
No, it didn't.
Not in. Logan, I try to hurt you tonight. Specifically, you. You know those legs that you have? We're gonna try to tear your ACL. like doing this. When he said that, I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? This whole revenge arc made no sense.
No, it didn't.
It was really weird. I was like, that's bizarre. And then we come back from commercial break, and Joe Hendry was doing his Fire Logan Paul song, which seems very cruel now because he's hurt.
Yeah, that's cool.
Theory comes out of nowhere, and the simple thing of, hey, someone's charging down to the ring. The crowd is making noise. Why don't you turn the fuck around?
Like,
first thing
maybe he thought the crowd was into his song.
And and Austin and in theory just beat the living shit out of Joe Hendry and fucking crushed him with a chair shot.
Yeah.
Real fucking brutal. And that was the first person on the hit list for Theory for the night, and just brutal.
Yeah, I did like this attack. I thought it came off good. And it made Theory look good, so this was solid.
Nick's Theory come off look like a killer.
Yeah. So
this whole night, too. The biggest complaint for a lot of people is that Theory didn't have a character. He's just bland, and now this kind of is a way for him to kind of develop like a killer type of gimmick.
Yeah.
To
I will say I think they missed out an opportunity to add Grayson Waller to the Vision. They could do this tag. Instead of doing the Blonde Breaker Austin Theory tag team thing, they could have had Paul Heyman say this, and Grayson Waller offers to step up to be in the Vision, saying Theory and I have a history together, and it would give Grayson Waller something to do again and everything like that. Putting him in the Vision, I think that would make a lot of sense, and that could be the new Vision until obviously you decide what to do with Logan Paul when he comes back and everything.
Had in the segment, you could have had Heyman have the other championship, and then Grayson walk in and be like, okay, that's the guy you're gonna team with. You're gonna re-team up again, and you guys are gonna run this tag team division instead of I feel like just giving the title to Braun, kind of like I said before, is gonna hamstring him into this tag team now. Even though the Vision as a whole has been feuding with Tez and Dawkins and Seth, but you add someone into the group, now it's 3-on-3.
Yeah,
now
because as we're gonna talk about in a minute, Seth is trying to get Tez to team up with him. It's look, the Visions have the numbers. The Visions don't even have the numbers anymore. It's just two guys left now, type of thing. It's only Braun Breaker and Austin Theory. If anything, if Seth offers for Tez to get in line with him, it would be 3-on-2 baby faces. That doesn't make any sense.
It wouldn't. So it makes sense for Grayson to be there, be 3-on-3. But instead they just because I feel like Braun doesn't need the tag title.
No, not at all.
He needs the heavyweight title. But the heavyweight title is tied up with something. The Intercontinental title is not really tied up into anything right now.
Yeah.
But people will complain that it's a step down, which it really isn't. Because, the heavyweight title's tied up with the Bloodline right now.
Yeah, it is.
And so Dawkins is backstage, and Seth walks up to him, and they start talking about how what Seth starts talking about what he knows what it's like to be screwed by the Vision, and then Montez Ford walks up, and he keeps saying, trying to brush off Seth, being we don't need you, stop coming around, we're not friends, we don't want to be friends with you, at all. And meanwhile, Dawkins is trying to calm them down and trying to keep order between them. And Seth kind of talked. Seth in this segment went a little heelish too by talking about bragging about how he was a multiple time WrestleMania main eventer and multiple time heavyweight champion, and he's oh, and you did none of that. Yeah. And I was whoa. I'm that's a little far. And so I think it was either Seth or Tez laid the challenge down. Tez versus Seth, and it was accepted almost immediately, and that was the main event. Was Montez Ford versus Seth Rollins. And when that match was announced, I was like, fuck yes, please give me that match.
Yeah, it was awesome. I like how we got there too. Where they're both angry at each other, so they want to take out their aggressions in the ring. I thought it was a great way to get there. So, I like this backstage segment a lot.
It was really good, and it led up to an angle that later on in the night too.
Yeah.
That was I liked it a lot. Then they talk about going to Turin for Clash at Italy and the start time and everything, and then they had a really nice video package for the mask versus mask match at on AAA on Saturday.
Yeah.
And Rey Mysterio narrated it, and they talked about the history about it and how it's basically and if you don't know, like in Mexico, the majority of the talent, nobody their real names are kept secret.
Yeah, for sure.
Their last name or their wrestling family. So it's like, okay, so like Psycho Clown, no one knows his last name, but he's a part of the Alvarado family. So his last name is Alvarado, but you don't know his first name.
Yeah. Yeah, because you told me a couple of days ago, like Psycho Clown or what? It's like I think he said the Polka's uncle or whatever, like or the cousins or whatever type of thing, like that related somehow.
I looked this up the other day and I found it really interesting. The new La Parka, the third La Parka, his uncle is Psycho Clown. They're a part of the Alvarado family, but their real first names are not known.
Yeah, so
Parka might not be an Alvarado, but he's in that family. So, and their identities aren't known because a lot of them are masked.
Yeah.
So, their masks come off. That's when their real whole full government name is announced.
Which is
so it's kind of interesting. So if you do mask versus mask matches or mask versus hair matches and you never lose, no one will know your name.
Yeah, that's wild.
You go like your gimmick name, no one might actually know your real name even after you pass away. So you might. It's like El Santo. I don't think anyone knows El Santo's like actual real name.
Yeah, it's wild.
Like it's a huge tradition that dates way back. I love it. I think it's awesome. Like in the United States or like American, based wrestlers, their real first name because it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Kobe Lopez. His first, middle, and last name on Wikipedia. Like it's common knowledge to kind of know some of their first names if you look them up a lot, like a lot of us have. But like in Mexico, you don't know these people's names, and you might never.
Yeah, never for sure.
Oh, it's also a sign of like this is the end. Like you get the mask off. This is your ultimate humiliation. But these guys have wrestled without masks on before, so it's like. But this match is going to be incredible. I think it's going to be awesome, and I really do hope that Ludwig Kaiser does come out victorious because I feel like if he takes the mask off, he's not going to be as popular as Ludwig Kaiser as he is El Grande Americano.
Yeah, let's hope. I said this when I did the predictions. Let's hope the arrest charges. It doesn't seem like it affected that because he's been able to go to Mexico and everything like that. So I think not much is going to change. Whatever decision they had for this match is going to stick. So let's hope Ludwig keeps the mask because, like I said, if Ludwig loses the mask when they do another round of cuts, he's going to be on the list of cuts if he goes back to Ludwig Kaiser.
So from what I've seen, he's allowed to travel. He was given the right to travel by the court system in Florida. They allowed him to travel, and there's no repercussions, so nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
Whatever they have planned for Saturday is going to be what's planned for Saturday.
Which is great.
Whoever's winning, of course. So backstage, Javon Evans kind of like Kim and Penta come into focus. Javon seems very like upset and like rattled a little bit, and he apologizes to Penta. He's very apologetic. He's very sorry. He's just not himself. And he apologizes a couple of times, and Penta accepts it, and then he walks off. And then out from nowhere, Rey Mysterio, the new AAA general manager, comes out, and him and Penta talk about having a match for the Intercontinental Championship. And that really was it perked up, and eventually it leads to I'm not just going to say it all in one, like it leads to a match against Rusev for a shot at Penta's Intercontinental title. I thought both of those segments, with the one with Rusev included too, were very good. Were very, very good.
Yeah, I like this backstage segment. It continues to peak interest into Javon's character. Finding out we're going to get Ray versus Penta is a dream match. I know they faced off before, but they haven't faced off yet in WWE, so that will be exciting. The Rusev backstage segment was good. I like that Ethan Page was kind of stirring the pot there. And Rusev said he was going to bonga-longa like Rey Mysterio. Like, what? He's going to what Rey Mysterio? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You got to bonga... He said he's going to bonga-longa Rey Mysterio.
Bonga-longa, whatever the fuck that means.
I don't know what that... Huh?
When Rusev said it, I didn't hear it when Rusev said it. So when Corey Graves said it, I was like, "What the fuck did he just say?"
And that's what Rusev said. He said he's gonna bonga longa Rey Mysterio. That should be his catchphrase now. He's gonna bonga longa people. So
bonga.
What is it?
Bonga longa day.
But yeah, all of this was very good.
So that leads into a tag team match with the Judgment Day versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Not just it is what it is. The ref tosses out Dominic towards the end. Derek Sanderson, the referee, tosses out Dom. The AAA Championship gets thrown into the ring in this fracas. It becomes a tug of war. But Roxanne accidentally, she gets the title and accidentally hits Dom with it, and then she gets rolled, and then Bayley rolls up Roxanne for the win. I thought this match was fine. It was okay. Nothing to write home about. Don't really care. Nice win though for Bayley.
Yeah, I didn't care about this at all. I think for months we've been seeing some type of combination of Bayley and Lyra Valkyria versus some type of members of Judgment Day. It just continues to go in a circle. I'm sick of seeing it. We need to see something new. Still no setup for a Liv Morgan title match. Nothing. Just she's won the belt at WrestleMania. She's been the champ for a little bit now, and they have absolutely no plans for that. No Finn Balor for some reason. He should have come out here and beat up Dominic Mysterio to keep that feud going. There was no Finn Balor for some reason. Roxanne has to take a loss for no reason. It keeps her as the third wheel, which isn't really necessary. But honestly, I was playing Monopoly Go and sending you the invite and stuff during this match. I really didn't pay attention to it.
I was also playing Monopoly Go and not paying attention to it.
So, and what a mess of a finish we got at the end, because Liv got tossed out, and then Dom tried to interfere, and the interference doesn't work, and then Roxanne took a loss. The finish was just a fucking mess. And there's a spot in the match I think that got fucked up where I think Raquel was supposed to distract the referee, and Roxanne was supposed to hang up Lyra's arm against the ropes, but I don't think Lyra was close enough. Of Roxanne, they mistimed the spot because they had to do the distraction twice to get the spot going. So it was just, this match was just so boring to me.
This match of Roxanne Perez is dead.
Yeah,
she is fucking dead. They managed to fucking kill her.
Yeah. Say that again. Say that again.
know how they managed to do it in such a short period of time, but they managed to somehow completely fucking ruin it, any potential that she had.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, luckily she's young enough where she could probably get that back, but still, like, it's gonna take a while with this damage.
Third wheeling in a stable that doesn't need a third wheel
Yeah.
does not make any sense.
No JD either for some reason. JD McDonough, I mean. Like, I don't know. What the fuck was he?
Finn, no JD, nothing.
Yeah.
Just tag team match. So they showed last week that Roman and the Usos just beating the absolute fucking shit out of Jacob Fatu.
I don't know. I don't know why we need that recap. We have fucking Netflix and YouTube. We can watch it on there.
Like, saw it already.
Yeah.
And he challenged in the tribal combat, which Roman accepted. And they cut to backstage with Pierce and Roman having a conversation about this. And Adam Pierce keeps wanting to fire Jacob Fatu, but Roman is on the fence about it, but doesn't really want him to get fired. And he knew that by Jacob challenging in the tribal combat with Reigns being the tribal chief, that Roman, he couldn't decline it. He was forced into the match. So he knew that Roman had to accept it because as the tribal chief, you can't decline that. And if Jacob loses the match, he will have to serve Roman Reigns or he's fired. And they basically hyped up the contract signing. I like this segment. I thought I hammered home the point that Roman Reigns, as the tribal chief, had no choice at all. It's like Jacob challenged him to tribal combat, and he had to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought this came off very well. For some reason, they added this rule in there where, like, Jacob Fatu has to serve him if he loses, which is really weird because that's never been a thing in tribal combat. Jay didn't serve him, and Solo so as fuck. Not only did Solo not serve him, he hasn't even acknowledged him as his tribal chief. So none of that's happened. So, but you know, I guess it adds intrigue. I mean, obviously, what sucks about this is probably going to be Roman's last Raw for like a month or so. So that kind of sucks. So we won't really get to see that story really play out until Roman probably comes back. So, like, after, because he was supposed, because I think when they had this written, he was supposed to be, you know, he was supposed to be around all summer, but then I don't think he wants to go to Saudi because, honestly, I can't really blame him with this fucking war and everything like that going on right now. I don't blame him for not wanting to be a part of that. So he's, I think he's like, no, I'm not going to Saudi for that type of thing. So.
Yeah, I honestly, yeah, I can't blame him for that.
Yeah. So, but you know, well, but this was all good. But yeah, this segment was excellent. You know, Pierce and Reigns have very good chemistry when they do backstage segments together.
And then they cut to LA Knight arriving, and they played a nice little tribute video for Memorial Day.
Yeah.
They showed Montez, Angelo, and Bailey at the National Veterans Memorial and Museum. And I know this kind of goes under the radar a lot, but Montez was he served in the military for quite a long time.
Yeah, he did.
Before mention it as much now as they used to. But yeah, he served in the military, so that's kind of cool for him to be able to kind of wrestle on Memorial Day.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did wrestle. Yeah, so that's cool.
And then LA Knight comes out, and he starts cutting a promo on the Usos, because he's kind of pissed off because recently they had formed an alliance. Like Jimmy was always cool with LA Knight, but Jay was not, because they were kind of in that World Heavyweight Championship feud and they didn't really trust each other. but they started to get along. And more recently, the Bloodline's kind of been a thing again, and LA Knight wants nothing to do with that, and he kind of is against them now. And they were side by side leading into WrestleMania. And he didn't really like what was going on with Jacob Fatu with them beating him up 3-on-1. Basically saying that, he doesn't want to make an enemy out of them, but if he has to, he will. It's a really interesting segment. Makes me think that LA Knight may be siding with Jacob Fatu. Kind of what they're angling at. Maybe not, but it's kind of like where they're angling at.
Yeah, I thought this came off very interesting. I like the back and forth between him and Jimmy Uso. LA Knight's going to be in the King of the Ring tournament now, so I imagine he probably won't win it, but I could see him getting far. Maybe he'll make it to the finals, and maybe some bloodline shenanigans will cause him to lose, and then that will lead to like a LA Knight, like Usos type match type of thing. I would love it if when Drew McIntyre comes back, maybe he goes, maybe not babyface, because I don't know, it's because the bloodline right now is in that middle ground where they're tweeners, not really faces or heels, but Drew McIntyre could team up maybe with LA Knight, kind of get the Rising, they can reform their tag team and everything like that type of thing. He could be backup, and that would make sense because Jacob Fatu, him and Jacob Fatu, it could build some distrust maybe between him and Jacob Fatu, since they would be fighting on the same side and all that type of stuff.
That would honestly be really interesting.
Yeah.
About that already. That was the other part of that segment. So then, the main event now: Seth Rollins versus Montez Ford. This match was awesome.
This wasn't the main event.
You're right. I don't know why I thought that was the main event, but it definitely was not.
It was not the main event. Maybe it should have been, but it wasn't.
Should have been. I forgot it wasn't the main event. Awesome match. I mean, it was so fucking great. It should have been the main event. So Seth, Montez went for the 450 splash, but Seth moved out of the way, and Seth with the stomp for the win. And afterwards, Theory comes out and fucking absolutely brutalizes Angelo Dawkins with the steel chair. I know the fucking camera angle wasn't the best. Doesn't look like he fucking hit him, but who fucking cares? The whole purpose was to write off Angelo Dawkins, it looks like. But I would think for paternity leave.
Yeah.
This is his wife and Bianca are not too far behind, I would say, in giving birth. So,
speaking of that, did Jimmy get written off yet for paternity leave? Because that should be coming up pretty soon too.
I don't know. That whole situation's really weird.
Because Jimmy should have been taking time off, but I know he took time off in January, but I don't think his kid would have been due yet by that point. So Jimmy hasn't taken any time off really or anything like that. He's still been there, type of thing.
Because I know that that Naomi went through some complications. I don't know if I don't know when she gave birth. She probably already has. They're probably just keeping it close to the vest, I think. But I don't know. That whole situation was just
because Jimmy's been there a lot. Jimmy's been there a lot. This is around the time where she should have given birth and everything like that. I would think because when did she go out? September. Because it was before. It was before, Clash.
Stephanie.
Yeah, because she was supposed to face Stephanie for the Women's World Title, and that was supposed to be in September, and she was gone 2 weeks before that.
Yeah, so I don't. Yeah,
but he hasn't.
Maybe they probably already had the child, and they're just keeping it
Yeah.
wraps. But that's interesting. But maybe he's gonna be off a few weeks. Maybe he is dealing with an injury too. On top of it, he could be dealing with some nagging injuries.
Yeah, maybe. Because if Jay wasn't there this week, you'd think it'd be the other way around. Jimmy wouldn't be there, so.
Jay, as Jimmy calls him, my hothead brother.
Yeah.
So they cut backstage, and Adam Pearce is back there, and Tez kind of runs up and asks like, "What the hell's going on? Like, is Dawkins okay?" And Seth shows up, and he's asking to see if Dawkins is okay. And this is where they have the kumbaya moment, the come to Jesus moment, where it's like now they see what Dawkins was trying to do, trying to get them together, and it worked because now Seth and Tez are on the same side now.
Yeah.
Their friend got taken out. So, and then Tez went into the training area to go be with Dawkins. I really like this segment. It was really interesting, kind of where it was at the beginning. It was very tense to the end of the night, where it was like they were, ready to put their differences aside and do what's best to try to get rid of the Vision.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like this a lot. I thought this made perfect sense for them to finally come together. I really hope that something stupid doesn't happen, no, because I could see Triple H booking this because he has a tendency to do this sometimes. Well, like when Dawkins comes back, he goes here and joins up with the Vision. I could totally see Triple H fucking booking that, and I really hope that doesn't happen because that just wouldn't make any sense. But I could see Triple H doing something very stupid like that. As like a swerve, and they could write in the story that like it's because of them they got taken out because of their infight and he was alone backstage. I just hope they don't do that because that just wouldn't even make sense.
That's some Stephen Coakley booking.
It is very much. Honestly, I'm surprised he hasn't booked that yet. So we'll see.
Oh, we have a fucking useless, stupid, dumb, fucking irrelevant segment with Becky Lynch.
This
welcoming Saul to the big time. Don't give a shit.
Yeah, this was written in because Saul couldn't be at Raw because I guess she had injuries from Saturday night's main event. So, okay.
Yeah, not really looking forward to that match.
No. Saturday night's main event killed that match. They should have thrown in Io in there to make it a triple threat.
Yeah, because she fucking beat her. She beat Saul.
And Io vanished. She's been off TV for 2 weeks.
Wins the match, and they're like, you know what? We don't need you anymore.
Yeah, that made no sense.
That was the number one contendership match: Rey Mysterio versus Rusev. This match was very good. So Rey ended up winning. As Rusev was going to go for the accolade, but Rey rolled him up for the victory. This is a really good match. They also paid homage to his match with Kurt Angle, where Rey was like running around the ring as Rusev was trying to catch him and try to get at him.
Yeah.
And he does like kind of like a 619 through the ropes, and it causes Rusev to kind of comedically jump out of the ring. I like that little callback. But yeah, like I thought this match was really good. And for all the injuries that Rey has, this dude has not lost a fucking step.
No, not at all. This dude, I heard rumors he was supposed to retire like at Clash this weekend. I could see, I could definitely see why Rey didn't want to because he could still fucking go.
Again, and that gear too looked awesome too. Also,
yeah, that was like an old school gear to like when he won the world title at WrestleMania the first time too. So, That was cool. What do you do better by Rusev? I think though, he's kind of back to where he was like before he left WWE the first time. He's taken a lot of losses lately. We need to get him back, get him his momentum back and everything like that. Because he lost to Devon and then he lost here to Wade, so we need to get his momentum back.
He is. He's kind of in the same spot, but I think he's a little bit higher up on the card than he was back then.
Oh, for sure.
Losing to people that like he's trying to help like put over.
Yeah.
At the same time, too, which is cool. But like he needs a win here and there. And if they really wanted it to be interesting too, like, because I know like Ethan Page and him and Rusev have been like kind of buddy recently in the past like month or two. You could have Rusev go face and then have a feud with Ethan Page.
Yeah, when he gets maybe get the belt on Ethan Page and then like they have like a low partnership where Ethan Page continues to manipulate Rusev to help him like keep his title and then eventually have Rusev snap, go babyface, and maybe dethrone Ethan Page at some point for the belt.
Yeah, that honestly that would kind of push him up the card.
Yeah, I think it would.
Come look. After the match, Rusev starts attacking Ray and then Dragon Lee, his LWO brethren. Not mentioned ever again, by the way. Can't tell you the fucking last time the LWO was even mentioned.
Yeah, for sure. I don't even know.
At least 6 months. Which is what it feels like.
Which is weird because on AAA, Cruz and Joaquin still come out in like the LWO gear and theme song, but Ray and Dragon Lee don't.
And then Ethan Page comes out from commentary and tries to help Rusev and the babyfaces stand tall. I like that post match again because it kind of gets everyone involved. That was in the.
What a nice guy Dragon Lee is to come out and save a legend like that, Rey Mysterio. He's such a good dude.
Yeah, what a guy. What a fucking beast.
Yeah. But AAA, did you see how unhappy Dom was that Ray became the general manager? Yeah. So Ray's his boss now. You realize that too, right? He's his boss technically.
After the feud that he had with Vikingo, I think he's a fucking heel again.
Yeah, he is.
I'm like, flip-flopping him like because he was a mega babyface against Vikingo.
Oh, for sure. I guess because Vikingo was just such a heel, I guess. So, yeah. So, he's a heel again.
I hope we see him again relatively soon. Maybe in the next set of tapings, I would assume.
Yeah, he hasn't been on in a while.
Been on since his match, I guess. I think it was like Mini Vikingo, I think.
Who?
Or Vikingo. Was it against Ray? Was his last match?
Oh no, he faced Mini Vikingo like a few weeks ago. I think he's supposed to be on again because I think it's not this week, it's next week. He's facing Dr. Wagner Jr. for the Latin American Championship. I've infrequently watched, but I haven't watched any of this. Like, I haven't really seen him like on AAA TV since that Dominic Mysterio match. Yeah, he faced Mini Viking. Well, he faced Penta for the IC title after that. Then he faced Mini Vikingo, and now he's facing Dr. Wagner Jr. for the Latin American Championship this week. So, so he's been around.
Good.
Dom really hasn't been though. I think Dom hasn't really been on since that like segment where El Grande Americano like got the sword and all that type of stuff. But
yeah, he hasn't been. He's been on infrequently also too.
Yeah, I think they just waited to find an opponent for him because they probably want to do El Grande Americano, the Ludwig one versus Dom, but they're probably gonna they may wait to. If things can go well, they may wait to crown him until AAA in September. They're gonna have to really elongate that. I don't know how the hell they're gonna do that, but we'll see.
Like, that's why I think they kind of jumped the gun a little bit with this El Grande Americano versus original El Grande Americano versus mask match. I felt like this should have been like closer to Triple Mania.
I mean, maybe, but I don't know how you would keep them feuded for that long though. Because this has been going on since January, so you would have to. Huh?
But I just don't know how. Like, what's if they plan on giving having Ludwig keep the mask and like have him win over the summer?
Yeah, I mean they could keep the feud going with Ludwig keeping the mask, and then Chad Gable, when he unmasked, just feuds with Ludwig, feuds with El Grande Americano and stuff. So,
like, that's what my thought process is. Like, if you want to continue that, like, over the summer,
yeah, maybe you have El Grande Americano face Dom for the belt. Chad Gable screws him over. They wrap up their storyline, and they have like some type of number one contenders match. For the title, Ludwig wins that, and then that would pop. By then, I think if you play your cards right, Triple Mania will happen by then, and then you could do El Grande Americano versus Dom for the belt, and El Grande can win it. Obviously, he'd win it on night two, the last match of night two of Triple Mania.
But yeah, you have to like find a way to prolong it, because my thought process is like, you got to have, if Chad Gable loses his mask, you got to have him feud with El Grande Americano Ludwig like for a while after that. Like,
yeah,
this feud is just so hot. Like, it's the best thing in AAA right now.
Yeah, for sure.
For one match, I feel like it's kind of like cheating the audience out of it.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Now we get to the backstage segment with Adam Pearce and Austin Theory. And Paul Heyman is he's there too, and he was like, oh, I'll discipline him and all this bullshit, and then the Theory was out of line, and then as soon as Adam Pearce is out of the picture, he's like, yeah, who cares? Like,
I like that Adam Pearce told Austin Theory to leave. Like, you're done for the night. Like, dude, there's only like a half hour left of the show left. Let's just let the fucking dude stay at that point. There's only one segment left.
Hour left. Why don't you? And then as they're walking back, as they're walking to leave the arena, Theory kind of looks at Maxine Dupree, and she looks like a fucking high school girl that saw that her crush looked at her, and they kind of walk off, and Maxine Dupree and then Tozawa and Otis are like, oh, he's bad news, and then Maxine goes, oh, he's under a lot of pressure, and just walks away. I was like, what? I was like, this is so stupid.
Yeah. I remember we said they have to do something to keep the vision going or break them up. Maxine Dupree going into the vision ain't gonna be it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not. I don't know why they're elongating it too. It's just such a waste of time. Just if you want to put it in the vision, just put it in the vision. Like, there's no need to do a long build up for that. Like, no one cares anyway, so just do it.
Exactly. Like, you can't, like, you just do it already. Like, this is gonna drag on too.
Yeah, probably for a while too. So
now we get to the weirdest part of the show, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
The contract signing between Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns for Tribal Combat at Clash in Italy, and before, like, they're out to the ring and the security out there, and Jacob just fucking throws all the chairs and then the table out of the ring, so there's nothing in the ring anymore.
Yep. He checked the chair like at one of these guys type of thing, like hoed. Like I thought one of the I think it hit him right in the face and everything like that too.
And Adam Pearce didn't step in the way.
He did not.
That. So they just kind of, and because Roman came out and instead of kind of keeping order, Pearce is just like, you know what, fuck it, who cares? And so they get in the ring. So Roman gets in the ring, and they have like this very calm meeting in the ring. And it was very weird because the past couple of weeks they've been just beating the shit out of each other. And they have this calm meeting in the ring. And at the end of the segment, they lock they lock hands and they go forehead to forehead with each other. And the show ends. And I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. Yeah, overall, this was fine for what it was, but it was just weird. This was not something to do with the go-home show. They should have done this like a couple weeks ago or something. I think what should have happened was they could have done this segment, but like Roman said that like, Jacob Fatu signed the contract. He signed his blood. He can't put his hands on me. And Roman could say, I can't put my hands on him either, but something should have happened where maybe Jimmy or someone should have been out there. Jacob attacks him, and like Roman has to sit down and watch that and can't like do anything about it, type of thing. Or vice versa, Roman attacks someone that Jacob maybe cares about. Or you could actually have Jacob just break the fucking contract. I don't, showing that's how much of a loose cannon he is, and he locks in the like the tongue and jet whip on Roman and everything like that, type of thing. There should have been some type of like big thing to end the show, since this is like the go home episode. Basically, this is probably gonna be the last. Roman's last Raw for a while, too. Maybe not, though. He might be on Raw the next night, since, like, they'll be in Italy and stuff. So, yeah, this segment was pretty okay, but not the thing to end, like, the go-home episode of Raw for this feud. Unless they do something on SmackDown this week, but I don't think Roman's going to be on SmackDown, so I would have done something big on this show.
I would have done so. Yeah.
So, that was Raw, though. I thought Raw was really solid. I thought it was a great show. I'm going to give it a B+. Great go-home show for the PLE. I thought the show flowed very well. Not really a bad thing on the show, I thought. And I thought they did a really good job of getting people excited for Clash in Paris.
Yeah, I very much look forward to it.
So let's do our Clash in Paris predictions real quick. There's 5 matches on the show. Obviously, I think there should be more. We could easily fit in more than 5 matches. Because obviously, that extra time is going to be given to doing the fucking ad reads and panel time for the countdown show and everything like that we don't need. They easily could fit in more than 5 matches, but they're just not gonna. There should at least be 7 matches on the show. You could easily throw in like, a match for Liv Morgan getting defending her fucking title. A women's tag title match in there somewhere, like something, but whatever. The 5 matches that we have, though, all have really good build. One of them I could care less about, but all the other ones I pretty much care about. Obviously, hour 1 of the show is going to be on ESPN 1 or 2, I forget which one. The first 2 matches will be there, basically, and then the rest will be on ESPN+. But yeah, let's go over the matches. On hour 1, kicking off the show will be the WWE Undisputed Championship match. We have Cody Rhodes defending against Gunther. This feud's been built pretty solidly so far. It does feel like a little bit of something for Cody to do to kind of get him through a title defense and everything like that. And it feels like they need something for Gunther to do. I'm probably gonna get this one. By the way, I will announce this now. Chris and I are doing a best of 3 series instead of having a straight up title match. So Chris and I will face off here, Night of Champions, and probably SummerSlam. Whoever gets 2 victories will be the champion. But yeah, I predict I'm probably gonna get this wrong, but I predict that Gunther's gonna win the championship. I think they really need to get something going for Gunther again. I think him being the WWE Undisputed Champion would be a good thing for SmackDown. I think it gets Cody back on the chase again. I think there's a lot of opponents Gunther could face on SmackDown. And I think, I think Gunther's just going to win the belt here. They could even do something where, like, if Randy's healthy enough, he could come back and screw over Cody, maybe attack him, and then it causes Cody to lose the belt, and we could get Cody versus Randy without the title, which I think, you can get a nice little blood feud for. So I'm gonna say Gunther wins the belt. What do you think?
I'm gonna go Cody.
And then we have the WWE Women's Championship match. It's Rhea Ripley defending against Jade Cargill. I think Rhea wins. There's really no reason to put the belt back on Jade. It really didn't work the first time around. I feel like it would just be the same old crap. Because Jade has laid out Rhea a lot, and she just pinned her on Saturday night's main event, I feel like they're going to give Rhea a big win. I think there's a lot of opponents Rhea could face. They'll obviously set it up Fatal Influence. I think they're setting up a Charlotte Flair match in there, so I think Rhea Ripley retains the belt. There's really no reason to put the belt back on Jade. What do you think?
I agree with that too. I'm going Rhea. There's no point in putting the title back on Jade yet.
Then we have Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar 2. This one's really tough to predict, considering the fact that they both need to get the win. Oba, I feel like he's got a lot of momentum right now. It might hurt his momentum a little bit if he loses, but, he did beat Brock at WrestleMania, and, he's done pretty well since then. Brock Lesnar, though, if they want to get, like, a 3-match series out of this, I think Brock needs to win. They just brought him back to do this match. I think you could do it. It would be kind of weird his first match back after retirement and he loses again. So I'm going to go Brock Lesnar. I think Brock's going to cheat to win and beat Oba. And then, obviously, this will carry over to a third match. Maybe at SummerSlam, maybe at Night of Champions, where that will be Brock's retirement match. Oba will face Brock, and this time Brock has to retire for real. So I'm going to say Brock Lesnar wins by cheating.
I'm going Oba. I think Oba wins again.
Okay. Then we have the Women's Intercontinental Championship match, Becky Lynch versus Sol Luca. Honestly, different circumstances, I would say Sol wins. It's a big PLE for her. But with her performances and stuff lately and everything that's been kind of going on since her call-up, I don't think she's ready for the IC title yet. I think it'd be a massive mistake to put it on her. I say Becky retains. Give Sol a little bit more time to improve. Maybe do something else, but I think Becky should retain. I think it would be a massive mistake to go with Sol right now with how she's been looking recently on the main roster.
Yeah, I would agree, but I do think Sol's going to win the title. But I wouldn't be surprised if Becky retained either. Would not be surprised in the least bit.
Then we have Roman Reigns defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Jacob Fatu in Tribal Combat. I think Roman retains. Jacob Fatu could win because, again, if Roman's going to be gone for a month, I think Jacob Fatu winning would add some life to it. And I think it would be kind of cool. It would really make things more interesting if Jacob won, because then he's the tribal chief. What does someone like that do as the tribal chief? Does Roman serve him? Is the company in trouble? But I think Roman wins. There's enough intrigue to it. Will Jacob Fatu has to serve him? Will he serve him? I don't know. I feel like that. I don't really think that's going to happen. I could see Jacob serves him, but nothing really changes from that. He's still a man, because I don't think he can. I feel like it would ruin his character a little bit if he has to serve Roman Reigns. Like, that doesn't really make sense, but I say Roman retains.
I agree. I think Roman's going to retain also, too.
All right, let's go through NXT stuff now, though, because NXT was last night, Chris. I don't think you knew that. But... Huh?
I have a Logan Paul update.
Okay.
For my tricep, got surgery while wide awake. Told Doc, I want to feel it. I want to feel it all.
Oh my gosh.
Still detached. An FYI. They're telling me 6-month recovery.
Okay.
So he's going to be out 6.
So he'll be back, what? Probably... It's, May right now, June, July, August, September, November, December. Maybe until the Rumble, they might have him return at the Rumble. Maybe that's when he'll come back.
He also jokingly said, "I'll be back in a couple of weeks with some prime shake, 32 grams of protein."
Okay. So yeah, that's a good update. But yeah, let's do NXT notes. NXT aired last night. What was the date? Today's date.
The 26th.
So yeah, the 26th. Booker T and Vic Joseph were on commentary for that. It kicked off with Ren Sinclair versus Kalani Jordan. Before the match, Kalani Jordan attacks Ren Sinclair, and the whole storyline of the match was Ren Sinclair was coming in injured from a match he had a few weeks ago with Kalani Jordan. So Kalani Jordan continuously targeted the leg. Ren Sinclair did get some moves in, but eventually she ended up missing a moonsault and tweaking her knee, and Kalani Jordan put him into a lion tamer half Boston Crab submission. Ren Sinclair tapped out. And that was it. Kendall Gray kind of checked on her friend and everything like that. Good match. Don't care about Kalani still as a heel. She's not a good heel. Really weird that Kendall Gray kind of watched her for a couple seconds after her friend was put in submission. She didn't attack her afterwards or anything like that. But overall, good match here. Just I don't really like Kalani as a heel.
I thought the match was okay. Well, I'd like to have seen Ren Sinclair win because she doesn't fucking win ever. But yeah, it was okay.
And then Tatum Paxley and Lizzie Rain are backstage. Lizzie Rain is upset that Zarya attacked her and just kind of used her as a stepping stone to get to the NXT Women's North American title. Shiloh Hill came up, and he wanted them to sign the petition to make him Mr. NXT. He mentioned Papa Shango signed it, which was pretty funny. And all these people, there was a comedian that Tatum liked that signed it. I think his name was Matt something. And then Shiloh Hill and Lizzie Rain went off to kind of set up a trap for Zarya. And Tatum, I don't know what the fuck she was doing, but I like this backstage segment. Oh, and then Tristan Angels came over and told him that him being Mr. NXT wasn't gonna happen. We need to have order in NXT. And he said that Charlie Dempsey's gonna teach him a lesson tonight. What do you think of this backstage segment? I thought it was good. I thought Shiloh was very entertaining here.
It was fine. Thought it was pretty good.
Then Doc State kind of bad promo. They come out and they're not in the original gear that they've been wearing. They're in suits and button down shirts and everything like that now. And Osiris Griffin talks about how when they all got together, they all had a football background or some type of college athletic background, while Shaquan Sugars was just an indie guy. So what the fuck was that about? That doesn't really make sense. If anything, Shaquan brought more to the fucking faction than they did, based on that knowledge. And they talked about how Shaquan only thought of himself. He didn't really think of the group, which that doesn't make sense because when Dion Lennox went on his own, Shaquan called him out for that, and when that didn't really make sense either. And then they talked about how Shaquan was the weak link of the faction. He always just kind of, went in there. He really didn't think things through, which hasn't really been Shaquan's character in Dark State, so that didn't make sense either. Dion Lennox even mentions I thought I was gonna get turned on, and it's really weird. He starts talking off tough, saying I actually am the leader of this faction, and dude, these two would have fucking turned on you last week. They were gonna kick you out of the fucking group. You didn't have a say in that at all. You were all scared you were gonna get kicked out of the group, and then they mentioned that Shaquan Sugars was holding them back and everything like that. This segment didn't make any fucking sense and it was really bad. Osiris and Dion fucking can't talk, and the one guy that can talk, I think, said the least in this whole segment. This was fucking awful. What do you think of this?
Just a downright horrid segment. Osiris Griffin might be the worst mic worker in WWE. And Cutler James is far too bland to be talking. And nothing Dion Lennox said was impactful whatsoever.
The crowd didn't help this segment either. because like they kept chanting "We want Shaquan," and then they kept saying no. Like, wow, great job, PC crowd. Fucking ruin his babyface momentum by saying you don't want him. What a fucking great job that is. Get the fuck out of here with that.
First of all, the PC crowd can't fucking make up their mind from 1 week to the next.
No, they can't.
Fucking idiots. 1 week they'll be cheering for a bunch of heels, and the next week they'll boo the same people they were cheering for last week. And then the week after that, they'll boo like a babyface, and the next week they'll cheer him. Like they can't make up their fucking minds.
Yeah, they were really bad on this show though. Like they were cheering for people that didn't make sense. They like this segment too. You couldn't even hear it because the PC crowd wouldn't shut up. So anything else? Huh?
Trying to get themselves over like they try to do every single week.
Yeah. What do you think of this segment though? Anything else you want to say about it?
I'm like, what is the point of the segment? Like, really?
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Then, when QCC's backstage, when Sinclair's being checked on by medical, and, then, Lola Vice comes in and tells him to look on the bright side, and Kendall Gray's like, yeah, let's look on the bright side, because we're both gonna be champions soon, and Lola's like, I wouldn't look that far into the bright side. And then Callie Armstrong comes in and she said that she wants to be the champion. She kind of walks off, and then Lola says that she has a title to defend and stuff. Fine segment, sets up a couple matches. They're clearly playing the long game with the Kendall Gray Lola Vice rematch, which I think is kind of a mistake. I feel like we should be doing that match like relatively soon, because I feel like they're gonna wait so long. There won't be as much fire to it by the time we get that match. I get they want Lola to have somewhat of a title run, but like they shouldn't even be like teasing it. They should just let Kendall do her own thing and Lola do her own thing, and we naturally get to the match instead of like just teasing it type of thing. But what do you think of this?
I didn't mind it. I really didn't. I thought it was fine. But I would like to see that match happen sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Then we had Shawn Legacy versus Dorian Van Dukes in the Men's Speed Championship Tournament. They went internationally with the Men's Speed Championship Tournament, obviously, this time around, because obviously I think the World Cup's happening, so they wanted to take some inspiration from that. Really good match, they both worked real hard. The finish was dumb. They just did a time limit draw. So fucking stupid. There was no reason to do a time limit draw. The fact that this match only got 3 minutes is a fucking joke. The match, because of that, got, like, clumsy because they have to move so fucking quick. So, like, I think Dorian Van Dukes was supposed to catch, like, Shawn Legacy on the outside, like a Death Valley driver, but because they have to move so fast, he ended up fucking it up, and that's not his fault. It's because he just got to move so quick. And unfortunately, I think Dorian Van Dukes is a hell of a talent, but you never can see what he can do because they only give him 3 minutes to wrestle. The fact that this match only went 3 minutes is kind of ridiculous. There was no reason this match had a time limit draw. Absolutely ridiculous. It was stupid. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It was good match that didn't need a time limit draw. That was stupid.
Yeah. And then Layla Diggs was backstage. Natty came up and said that she's going to be in her corner for the Jada Polka match. Fine enough. I really didn't get Natty vibes this week from Natalya. It just felt like Natalya with a jacket, with like the Natty jacket on. I didn't really get the Natty vibes this week, but what do you think?
I didn't get Natty vibes either. This is Natalya.
Yeah. Then we had Jada Polka versus Layla Diggs. Whatever. Jada won. This Natty feud I don't care about because it's to get Jada over, and I don't like Jada Polka, so I don't like this feud because all this feud's gonna be is just to get Jada over, and I'm not interested in getting Jada over, so fuck that. What'd you think of this? Say that again?
Not care.
So I'm pretty sure there was a spot in the match too where Jada was in a rest hold and she wasn't selling like the rest hold. She had like no reaction to it. So that's something. And then Birthright got interviewed. They talked about like how Lexington is the fastest wrestler. I don't really think they said much of anything here. They were just kind of talking, and then like Nathan Fraser and Axiom came up. They said they're gonna win the title. They said he's gonna win the tournament, win the title, and that was it. This segment really was a whole lot of nothing. just I think Birthright lost a lot of steam when David Finlay didn't sign, and now NXT kind of lost interest in it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because they're basically the Job Squad like 2.0, pretty much. And then Tony D came out to do a promo. He cuts a really good promo talking about how he's going to face Cam Hendricks for the NXT title next week. But then he says he wants to kind of talk to Nariko because he's been kind of looming his shadow recently. Nariko comes out, and Tony D thinks that Nariko wants an NXT title match, but Nariko says that he wants to protect Tony D and the NXT Championship because he wants to be the one that faces Tony D for the title, but he wants to get everyone out of the way first. And then Cam Hendricks comes out. He cuts a really bland promo saying why he's going to win the title. And then he goes to attack Tony. Nariko defends him. I like this segment. I like the vibes between Nariko and Tony D. And I'm really hoping that Nariko is the one that dethrones Tony D because I think he really deserves it. So what do you think of this? I thought this was good stuff.
It was good stuff too. I really liked it.
And then Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights are backstage. I almost just call him Niles Bourne, not Miles Bourne, Niles Bourne. So
let's go. He's British now.
But Tavion Heights keeps trying to apologize for costing them the tag match last week. So Miles Bourne says, look, what's done is done. But now you just caused a lot of issues. But before they can really finish their things, they get attacked by Darkseid. I was liking the backstage segment, but we did not need that Darkseid attack. That was really unnecessary. What'd you think?
Unnecessary.
And then the Vanity Project are backstage. They come up and start making fun of Tate Wilder for getting stitches. And Jackson Drake challenges Tate Wilder to a match next week. That will be pretty good. So what'd you think of this? I thought this was fine.
Yeah, nothing special.
And then Nathan Frazier face Romeo Moreno. Really good stuff. I like this a lot. Very fast-paced. Eventually, Romeo Moreno won with a roll-up when Nathan Frazier went for the superplex into the Falcon Arrow. So Romeo Moreno has a speed title match, because I forgot to say that because Shawn Legacy and Dorian Van Duke stupidly went to a time limit draw, this was the finals, so now next week he's going to face Lexis Kitten and lose. Still don't care about the speed belts. This is all they do is tournaments to determine them, and it's getting old at this point. I'm sick of the lighting. I'm just sick of the speed belts. They should just get rid of them because Lexis Kitten, the titles are prop to him, and Ren Sinclair titles are prop to her. So I'd say just get rid of the speed belts. I'm sick of the tournaments. They need to do something new. What do you think? What'd you think of this?
Yeah, I'm kind of done with the tournaments. I'm kind of done with the speed belts. It's just stupid.
And then Izzy Dame and Nico Vanta backstage. They're wondering what Shawn Spears is because Nico Vanta and Shawn Spears are supposed to have a tag match. But that was kind of it. This episode, more specifically, you could definitely tell they're going to turn on Shawn Spears based on how this is going. And kicking Shawn Spears out of the Cullen would be a mistake. The only reason I could see them doing this is maybe he's going to take more of a backstage role, so he's going to be fully off screen and just mainly be the trainer. So that's probably why they're doing that. But the Cullen's going to fail if it's just Nico and Easy Dame. But what'd you think? What'd you think of this?
Yeah, I feel like it's like an inevitable that's going to happen.
Yeah. And then Mason Rook and Mr. Stone were backstage. Mason Rook's upset that Cam Hendrick is going to get the title match. But, Mr. Stone says, look, statistics don't lie. Cam Hendrick is in the title match. But maybe we could talk about next week about getting a title match. And Mason Rook kind of says he's going to interfere, but Naoku comes up and says that it's not going to happen on his watch. And that was kind of it. I was kind of interested in this. Mason Rook's been pretty decent so far. And I'm interested in seeing a Naoku Mason Rook match. Kind of weird they're going to build that match because really no one can really take a loss there because they're both so new and they're trying to really push both of them. And you can't push both of them at once if they have a match together. So I would be interested to see how that goes. Because Naoku can't lose that match and neither can Mason Rook. So maybe they do a double finish where both of them lose and do a triple threat with Tony D. But what do you think of this?
It was cool. I thought it was good.
And then Out the Mud was supposed to face the Cullen, but Shawn Spears attacked him with the chair. This was really pointless. This was obviously because Sean Spears lists later that like he saw the error of his ways and shouldn't have booked this title match, but I don't know why we couldn't just have like Out the Mud just come out and win a tag match. Like this was weird. This didn't really need this didn't really make sense.
Yeah, it really didn't.
And then Sarah Schreiber's backstage. She interviews Kelly Armstrong since she's ready to win the NXT Women's title. Her and Thea Hale get into it. That's going to set up a program between them. I'm pretty fine with that. They had this weird thing where like the several women kept coming out from backstage, which was weird. But what'd you think of this?
Good.
And then Shiloh Hill's backstage. He talks to Zarya. He tries to get his petition signed because he had this whiteboard filled up with all these people that signed his petition. Hornswoggle signed it, buddy. He wants him to be Mr. NXT. That's awesome. Hornswoggle signed it. And there were some other people that signed it. And then this was obviously leading to a trap. Izzy Rain attacked Zarya, and they got into a brawl that had to be broken up. I like the location of this. I thought the location looked cool. What'd you think of this? This was a good little segment right here.
Liked it.
And then we had Charlie Dempsey versus Shiloh Hill. Good match. I like the finish a lot where Shiloh Hill countered like a double underhook, like butterfly suplex into like a backdrop, and he was able to get the pin that way. And then Twisted Angels came out and announced that they're going to have a pageant in 2 weeks to determine who the true Mr. NXT is. And then we all know who's going to win that. That's going to be Shiloh Hill because he's the true Mr. NXT, not Twisted Angels. He's not Mr. NXT. It's Shiloh Hill, buddy. But what'd you think of this segment?
I thought it was good. I liked it.
Obviously, it sucks Charlie has to take a loss, but, you know, that's what happens when you put him in Birthright. Birthright's very much a jobber faction. So, then the Collins backstage, they talk about how, they're upset with Sean Spears that he basically got that match thrown out, but then Sean Spears says that he saw the error of his ways. He shouldn't have booked that match. And they're still upset with him, but they're going to get over it, obviously, because Easy has to go have a title match. What'd you think of this? This was just kind of whatever.
Fine.
Then we had the title match. It was Lola Vice defending against Izzy Dame. During the match, Sean Spears interferes, which causes Out the Mud to come out, and they brawl with Nico and Sean backstage. So obviously, I imagine next week, Izzy Dame will call out Sean Spears for this, because this took them out of ringside. And then Lola Vice got the win after the back fist, or the spinning back fist. Very good match here, though, for the NXT Women's title. A good first title defense for Lola Vice. What'd you think of this?
That was good.
And then Dog State is leaving the arena. They talk about how no one's truly safe from them, and they said that what you just saw is just the beginning. And when they leave, over off in the distance, like on the production truck, you see that Shaquan Sugars was watching, still in the Dog State gear. So I imagine, because they're supposed to do a tag match next week with two members of Dog State versus Tavion Heights and Miles Bourne. One or two things are going to happen from that. Either Miles Bourne and Tavion aren't going to be able to get along, and it'll cost them the match, or they're going to have Shaquan interfere in the match and cost them and cost Dog State the match. And because they did that thing where Shaquan was watching this, I think the second option is going to happen. But I'm looking forward to seeing Shaquan as a babyface. I think he's going to be a really good babyface, and I think he's going to look really strong. But what do you think of this?
Yeah, I like that. That ending with him like on top of the production truck. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I didn't expect to see him here at all, so that was cool. I kind of hope they do like a storyline with him where like he gets outnumbered and he has to find backup. I mean, it'd be kind of the same thing they're doing with Seth, but Shaquan, I think they can really do it for because they haven't done that with him yet. Maybe like they can get Javon for an appearance to team up with them one time, and then maybe like somebody else that he has a history with. I don't think he has a lot of history with people in NXT though. I think it's just Javon, but again, they would have to get him. They would have to have him come down, and maybe they do some type of 6-man tag or something like that. Maybe they get like Tony D to team up with them or something type of thing. But what do you think comes out? What do you think comes out of Shaquan Sugars as a babyface? Do you think he's going to get some backup, or do you think he's on his own?
I think he's going to get some backup. It might be Javon Evans or Leon Slater or something like someone who has a history with Dark State.
Yeah. I said Javon, because they also work together, like, in DPW and all that type of stuff, too. So, you know. He can get out the mud, too. They have a history with Dark State themselves, so... But overall, that was basically it. I thought NXT was solid. I'll give it, like, a B. I could have done without the speed matches. I could have done, without that Dark State promo. But I like the NXT Women's title match. I thought the opener was good. I like the Tony D segment. And, there's something else here that was good. The Shawn Legacy dude, but that was in the Speediverse. So, yeah, never mind. And I liked Charlotte Hill on the show. I thought he was very entertaining. So I'm going to give NXT a nice solid B. What would you give NXT?
Solid B. I thought it was a good show. Yeah, I give it a B.
And that's basically it. No other news or anything to break down, right? Just that Logan Paul thing, and that's it. There's no other news to break down.
We are newsless.
Oh yeah. How'd you feel, Chris? We got to actually have a normal Aftershock for a change, where we actually reviewed shows and everything like that. So it's nice nice. Isn't it nice when that stuff happens?
Not like 7,000 shows doing it one time.
Yeah, so that's nice. Maybe we can make this more of a regular thing, but that's pretty much it, guys. Maybe I'm going to Chris's house over the weekend. Maybe after Clash in Paris, we'll do a video right afterwards reviewing Clash in Paris if we have the desire or the time or both. We might have neither though. We might not have the time or the desire to do an Aftershock right afterwards. Huh?
Not have any of that.
Yeah, so I may not even have the desire to come over. That might be a thing. Or you may not. Huh?
Do have the desire to not see each other ever again after the show.
Yeah, that's a possibility. You could have the desire not to even watch the show on Saturday. I could come over and you're like, yeah, I don't want to watch it now. I know we're not watching it. You just decide not to watch it. Huh?
Stupid and dumb. You can watch on your phone.
Yeah, you may not even want. We may want to watch it, but you may not even want to watch it on the big television. You might just want to watch it on my phone, not even on the big TV or anything like that. Just phone. And none of this crap. Well, I'm holding the phone. We put it up to where the TV is, mounted up there, and we're just watching the pay-per-view that way and all that type of stuff. Would you like that? That'd be fun.
Better.
So, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Anything you want to plug up, Momo, before we get out of here? Check out the State of the Address video that James and I did last week, where we kind of talked about, we did a State of the Address for WWE. Coming up sometime in July, well, not July, June, James and I will be doing a retro review in WCW Bash at the Beach 95. You still got to pick a retro, by the way, Chris, to do. I think I told you to pick a retro, and we forgot about it. But pick a retro to do. We'll do it at some point. And then, on the Talkinator, check out all the non-wrestling stuff there. My cousin and I just recently finished up the original trilogy of Star Wars, so we just did episode 6 recently. And the next set of Avatar episodes will be coming up, and that's pretty much it, guys, and we'll talk to you guys later.